or Man City. You know, they're a team and a collective, and when they all play together in the correct way,
Sure.
it's magical.
Neil, so over the last sort of 18 months, you said like 5 years ago you moved up into CEO position. Just over the last 18 months with sea level, what's the biggest sort of change really, and what's the difference between Support Tree back then and now, even in that short span of time? You know, that 5 years you could go, wow, a lot's happened then, but even just the last 18 months of that.
For me, I have an operational brain, really. You know, just and when I looked at sea level, I could vision how it would be in the business, like pretty quickly, and it's working as I was expecting it, actually. So for me, it's the best operational decision we've made since putting in ConnectWise, or maybe we put in Quote Valley, you know, where you get
Sure.
sign-offs and everything online. Both really easy, but they were both actually, rolling out ConnectWise is really tough. But the work that you have to put into sea level, like Todd was saying,
Yeah.
it is a commitment. But if we hadn't done that, we just wouldn't be where we are
Sure.
in the people, in confidence, in the calmness. I mean, you work in our office, George.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to send you to another MSP for a day when you can see,
Sure.
you know, sometimes outside the office it may look
Yeah.
like everything's calm, but inside the office it's often phones melting down and something going wrong. So
Sure.
as a business owner, I feel much more in control and much more confident, and the team are really growing. So
Sure.
people that were in the business before we rolled out sea level are now completely different people, and it's changing week by week, quarter by quarter. So the things that they're coming and discussing with me, they just wouldn't have done it before, because they
Yeah.
just would not have had the they would have had the scope, but probably they wouldn't realize they had the scope. And they
Sure.
did that with all the processes and everything that they've been taught. It's given them a lot more confidence to push forward as well.
Sure. So it really empowers then that team aspect, and drives that then throughout
Absolutely,
the business. Yeah.
absolutely. And you mentioned our values. Our values really are tied into that. You know, team
Yeah.
growth, humility, and care, and all of those can slot into sea level really well. You know, the team. This is absolutely a team game, and I've compared it to a football analogy. You know, like we used to be like um, Spurs of old, maybe. You know, like where they had
Sure.
some really good individual players, and if they played really well, they could win 5-0, but they'd often lose 2-0. You know,
Sure.
uh, we've turned into City, or the new Arsenal, I'll say,
Yeah.
or Man City. You know, they're a team and a collective, and when they all play together in the correct way,
Sure.
it's magical. And that's yeah. So seeing the team grow like that is amazing.
Sure. You can then keep on with the results. It's not sort of a hit and miss every so
It's
often.
predictable results.
Yeah.
We used to have a guy who worked for us who used to keep talking about McDonald's. You know, they you go into McDonald's
Sure.
in London, you're pretty much going to get the same result as you go to McDonald's in Pennsylvania. Um, we want that the predictable result. The client contacts us, they know what they're
Sure.
going to get.